Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and today I'm throwing myself a housewarming party. You know, Michael and I just moved into our new home, and when my friends come over, I really want to just knock the socks off of them with these delicious recipes. I'm gonna be making a traditional Southern finger food, cheesy shrimp on grits toast. And then I'm gonna fry up some ravioli, and I'm gonna top it with a savory marinara cream sauce. And finally, to sweeten up this little party, I'm gonna bake a rich and creamy Savannah cheesecake cookie that's gonna melt in your mouth. So come on in, y'all, leave your shoes at the door, cause today, you're invited to my housewarming party. Today's show is something that's very near and dear to my heart. It's housewarming. So what better house to start with than my very own? Michael and I just completed the construction of our dream home. And we wanted to make it so comfortable so that everybody enjoys it. Even my bird. You can see up there, Ladybird's in there enjoying her a snack right now. I'm walking through a garden right now that's just chock full of herbs that really is going to enhance any dish that I decide to make. In fact, speaking of dishes, I'd love for y'all to join me today in the kitchen because I'm going to be cooking up some yummy, yummy housewarming dishes. So y'all come on in and join me. I'm looking forward to spending a little time with you. So y'all just follow me and we're going to start cooking. I'm so glad y'all decided to come on into the kitchen with me. The first dish that we're gonna make is a Savannah cheesecake cookie. And it's not a cookie at all. It's actually baked in a 13 by 9 by 2, and it's cut into squares. We're gonna start by mixing 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of packed light brown sugar, and 1 cup of chopped nuts. Now I'm using pecans. And last but not least, 1 stick of melted butter. I know y'all knew it was coming. Look how good that looks. All right, now I'm just gonna mix this up and I'm gonna pat it into the bottom of my pan. It's just that simple. All right, so we're just gonna dump that in. And if y'all should hear somebody yelling, that's Ladybird. She's just wanting me to come get her and take her out of the cage and play with her. All right, so we're gonna put this in a preheated 350-degree oven, and we're gonna let it bake until it's a nice light golden brown. All right, so in about 12 minutes, we're gonna pull out that crust and we're gonna put this cream cheese filling on that crust and we're gonna bake it for a little bit longer. All right, we're gonna start by beating up 2 softened 8-ounce cream cheeses along with a cup of sugar. Then you might wanna set all this out on your counter the night before, and that way it'll be ready for you to start beating together. It'll be nice room temperature. So that's nice and fluffy. The sugar's dissolved in the cream cheese. Now you'll want to make sure when you're cracking your eggs that you crack and put them in a separate bowl because you never know if you may have a bad egg. So this way you won't run the risk of spoiling the whole recipe. So that egg looks fine. And that one is as beautiful an egg as I've ever seen. And so is his brother. And we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. And that's all it is too. Whoa! A little extra alcohol for the dish. Won't hurt it. And our crust is not through baking, but y'all know that I always make extras. I can never make just one thing of something, not in the Deen Groover house, because there's a bunch of us. And I've got one over here that's ready, and all we're gonna do is just pour our cream cheese filling right on top of our crust. And after the crust is baked, you'll wanna just sit it out on the counter and let it cool off before you put your cream cheese filling in. And I'm just gonna spread this one out nice and even. Looks delicious. so our crust should be ready. And it is a beautiful light brown crust. And now we're gonna slip the pan in with our cream cheese filling. We're gonna bake that for about 20 minutes. And I have one ready. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't hardly wait to taste it. Now to just dress it up a little bit, I'm gonna just dust the top of it with a little powdered sugar, and I'm just running it through a very, very tiny strainer. Now, for the size cookie, you just go with what you'd like to have. I think I want a bigger piece for myself, so I'm gonna cut it in maybe a 2.5-inch square. And look how good that does look. Now to just dress my plate, I'm gonna dust it with a little bit more powdered sugar. And I've got some beautiful fresh strawberries here. And I've got a little mint from the garden. And look how pretty that looks. I can't hardly wait to taste it. Mmm. Mmm. It's so nutty. That's what I love about the crust. It's full of nuts. You're gonna love it. So I'm gonna finish taking a little sweet break here. And when we come back, you're not gonna believe that a Southerner would really like cheesy shrimp on grits toast, are you? Well, that's what I'm cooking next. So I'll see y'all back in a minute. I'm really, really anxious to share this recipe with y'all because it's so good. It's got two of the ingredients that we just love down here in this area, and that's grits and shrimp. Now, I'm using 3 cans of store-bought chicken stock. All this can be done the day before, so it really is a simple yet delicious last-minute dish. Now, I'm gonna make sure that all those grits get nice and incorporated with that chicken stock. So now I'm gonna lower our temperature, and I'm gonna put the lid on them, and I'm gonna let them cook for about 5 minutes. And while they're cooking, I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna make the shrimpy cheese sauce that's gonna go on top of these incredible grits. Now all I'm gonna do is just coarsely chop my shrimp. And it's like 1.5 pounds of shrimp that's been boiled and peeled and deveined. They look delicious. Just a nice rough chop. All right, now I'm gonna come over here. I've got an 8-ounce package of cream cheese at room temperature. You know, I don't believe we could throw a party without cream cheese. I really don't. And you can see how soft this is. Now to this, I'm gonna add a blend of Italian cheeses, but you can add whatever kind of cheese you want. And that's about 1/2 cup. And then I'm gonna add some fresh parsley, and I'm gonna add a tablespoon of 1/2 and 1/2. All right, so I'm just gonna mix that up. So we're just gonna add those to our cream cheese. And I'm just gonna fold that in. Now let's check on our grits. So all I'm gonna do is pour these into our pan. These are 5-minute grits, which is gonna be delicious. All right. Now I'm gonna stir in 1/2 cup of fresh grated Parmesan cheese. Just gonna kind of fold that in. Oh, that smells good, good, good. Okay, Now I'm going to put these in the refrigerator, and I've got some in there waiting for us right now. Look at our grits now. These have been chilled nicely. All right, now all we're gonna do is take our chilled grits, and I'm gonna spray our sheet pan. So I had some butter melting back here on the stove, so I'm gonna just take our grits and slather it with this melted butter. This is just gonna help them crisp up, because now we're gonna cut these and we're gonna put them on a cookie sheet and we're gonna bake them. And I'm using a tin can that just works perfectly. So I hope that you're gonna like these as much as Michael does. I mean, this is almost just like stupid easy. All right, so we're gonna throw these in a 400-degree oven, and we're gonna bake them for about 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna flip them over, and I'm gonna continue baking them for about 40 more minutes. Now I have a tray that's ready back here. We're gonna take our grits toast and we're gonna dollop them with our cream cheese and our shrimp. To me, these are just gonna be perfect for the housewarming, because I'm not actually serving a meal. I'm just serving bites of food. Now I'm gonna top them with just a little cheddar cheese, just to give them a little color. And then I'm gonna run these under the broiler, and I'm gonna broil them for about 5 minutes until they're like melted and kind of ooey gooey. But I love the little bit of orange cheese. All right, now I'm just gonna top them with a little bit of crushed black pepper, and that'll give them just a little bit more color to them. Now I'm fixing to stick these in the broiler, like I said, for about 5 minutes. And when we come back, we're gonna taste them. But guess what else I'm fixing for our housewarming party? I'm fixing a fried ravioli with a cream marinara sauce. How yummy does that sound, Mario? Did I say it right? Ravioli marinara. I'll see y'all back in a minute. Look at these wonderful little cakes. Look at that. And see, the yellow cheese just gives it a little punch. It's really crunchy, and the have a bite. Truly a spectacular hors d'oeuvre. I think your guest will just love it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make these little raviolis for wanting to eat shrimp toast, but let's get started. I'm going to be using a cheese ravioli that you can buy in your frozen food section. And I'm gonna cook these for about 2 minutes. And I've got my salted boiling water, and I'm just gonna dump them down in there. Oh, be careful when you're doing this at home. And let's move on down here, and we're gonna put together a mixture that we're gonna dredge these raviolis in. Now I've got a 1/2 cup of milk, and I'm gonna take 1 egg and beat up in our milk. Now I'm gonna add a little salt and a little pepper. And then it's beat that up a little bit more. And I can't wait to show off my house. Michael and I stay pretty busy, so sometimes we don't get together with our friends as often as we'd like. So we're really looking forward to this. So these are ready. Like I said, just about 2 minutes is all that these need. And I'm gonna drain them on a paper towel. Oh, and these smell good. All right, for our marinara, we're just gonna use 1 jar of store-bought marinara sauce. And then we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. How simple is that? And we're gonna let this cook for just about 2 minutes, just enough to heat up. So let's come down here. I have 2 cups of ground pecans, and to that I'm gonna add a cup of fresh grated Parmesan cheese. And I'm just gonna toss those together. And then we're gonna take our ravioli and we're gonna run it through our milk and egg mixture. Your ravioli needs to be more on the dry side so that everything will stick to this, because you have to be careful because it will kind of clump up on you. This is going to be so delicious. So I've got enough to line the bottom of my frying net, so I'm going to just lower those in there. All right, I'm going to have to stop and give my hands a rinse. A good tip for when you're dipping and frying is to use one hand for wet and the other for the dry. But sometimes I get so excited I don't do that. I'll wind up just jumping in there with both hands. I'm gonna lift this out because I see them puffing and we don't want our cheese to burst out and go everywhere. So I think those are just right. Look at those. All right, I'm gonna take our marinara and pour it into our bowl. I'm just gonna place these around on the platter, and I'm gonna have more folks around this dish than you can shake a stick at. Oh, wowee. I don't know if I can even taste this, y'all. I mean, everything is so steamy. Look. I don't think I can taste this right now, y'all. I think I'd even burn my mouth, which everybody says I got the toughest mouth in town. But when we come back, now I've got a tip for you that's gonna make that housewarming just a little bit warmer. So I'll see you back in a minute. I just have to say, I really don't want anybody to bring me any gifts tonight, nor do I expect any. But I'd like to share with y'all what I do when I go to a housewarming. You know, I just love little things that are useful and that are from my heart and from my kitchen. I've got a basket and I've lined it with a dish rag, along with some really, really useful kitchen gadgets, and a nice bag of pasta, beverage napkins, dinner napkins, beeswax candles, potpourri, and a couple of jars of my homemade jams. So I hope this will help you out. And if I do get a gift tonight, I hope it's homemade. Well, believe it or not, y'all, I've gotten everything done. My house is pretty clean, but more important than that, I got all the food done. And even though it's enough to get started, you may find that when you serve these recipes that you're gonna be in the kitchen making more. I think that y'all are just gonna love the Savannah cheesecake cookies. I can't hardly wait for y'all to taste this one. The cheesy shrimp on grits toast. out of this world. And the fried ravioli with the cream marinara sauce is gonna have your guests just raving. So if y'all have got a house to warm up, I hope that y'all will enjoy using these recipes because they're truly delicious and easy. So as always, y'all, I send you love and best dishes from my home to yours.